Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's your second favorite bald person here at Hail Trace. Derek obviously being number one. Andrea, like that one. Meteorologist Frank Aitano here for your daily forecast. As always, sponsored by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and the American Contractor Show. Those guys are tagged down in our Facebook description of this post, so go check those guys out, see how they can help you out, and see what they can do for you. Let's get right into our weather headlines for today. We could see some hail possible in Des Moines, Iowa. Chances are slight, probably about 15-20% chance you could see some large hail in Des Moines today. We do have a few marginal low-end wind risks across the country. I'll take a look at those when we get to our wind forecast, mainly in the southeast, and then also some stuff possible in Oregon today, in southern Oregon. And then another hail risk for tomorrow, but it stays pretty rural in the northern plains and in the upper Midwest towards the Canadian border, and we'll look at that as well. We have some events to talk about. Burgers and Bikes is on Friday in Moore, Oklahoma, so if you guys are out there working the Norman storm, you can come see us talk about how that storm is going for you. We're going to have some, it's at the Fort Thunder Harley Davidson in Moore, so we're going to be cooking out, eating some food. Come see us there. And then from, I believe in July, July 21st to the 23rd, the 2021 FRSA Convention and Expo at the Gaylord Palms Resort in Kissimmee, Florida. Come check us out there. And then this one we're excited about, the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. It's at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex, September 15th. 100% of the proceeds goes to roofers in recovery. So definitely sign up for that. That's going to be a fun event for a great cause. So let's get into yesterday's storm reports. A whole swath of wind reports, some hail reports were sprinkled in all the way from the Tennessee Valley up through the Northeast. Now, I should note that not all of these reports that you see on the screen here are severe wind reports, but there was a lot of severe wind reports yesterday. I'll get into that when I show you the numbers here in a second. You know, if we move down, there was a couple storms in Texas, a couple wind reports came in, a single hail report, and then we'll work our way back to the east into Florida. A little spattering of some wind reports and a hail report came in Florida. Let's take a look how those numbers translate. Now, we did have one tornado report yesterday, 11 large hail reports, and 453 high wind reports. So those are the actual severe wind reports. And where's that put us at for the year? 591 in terms of tornadoes, just under 3,500 for large hail, and about 6,500 for high winds. And that still puts us way behind last year. We had over 11,000 wind reports at this time last year, and over 4,000 hail reports. So we're still running about 800 behind in the hail reports. We'll see if we can get busy this summer and catch up, but right now we're looking pretty far behind, and we also had 912 tornado reports at this time last year. Let's take a look at those current conditions. Zoom in down here towards the southeast. We do have a cold front that's pushing off the coast, so we do see the precipitation moving eastward with that. I do expect a little bit more development sometime this afternoon back towards the west, right in front of where the cold front actually is back here, and hopefully we can get some wind reports out of that, but I do expect a little bit of development back there later on. Take a look at those temperatures. Generally not too bad considering it's the second day of summer. We're in the low 80s, 70 in Minneapolis. It's probably very comfortable up there. Not a lot of moisture in the air either. A lot of that moisture is confined down towards the coast here. We don't even have a lot in one of our main risk areas today. I'll talk about that in a second. 89 in Miami, but generally pretty comfortable across most of the country as far as temperatures are concerned. So let's take a look at our future radar. So this is what the HRRR model is thinking is going to happen this afternoon as the storms push east. We do see a little bit more development back towards the west, and then it pushes off the coast this evening. So we could see a spattering of some high wind reports all along the southeast coast up to the mid-Atlantic. I don't expect it to be a crazy big day or anything like that, but pretty marginal risk for wind. And then we'll go to our main risk area in Iowa and eastern Nebraska. We'll see those storms start to pop up around 5:30, 6 o'clock in western Iowa and northern Iowa, and then they're going to be tracking southeastward. Omaha technically has a risk today, but I don't think it's really that good of a risk. Maybe 5% chance of seeing a storm that could pop out some large hailstones. Our main risk is definitely going to be in Des Moines as those storms track southeastward this evening. As that low-level jet increases the chance of storm development after about 7 o'clock. Generally, the time frame for Des Moines will be about 5 p.m. through 11 p.m. and then those storms should start to die down as we get into the late evening and overnight hours. And the last thing we're going to look at here, some storm development in southern Oregon, and also a couple of storms popping up in rural New Mexico. Pretty low-end wind risk with that as those storms track northward and then just kind of float around in New Mexico. Not a lot of forcing down there to really push those storms anywhere. So pretty low-end wind risk for those areas as well. And what's that look like graphically for our hail graphic? As we zoom in here to Iowa, if it takes its time, there we go. Moderate chance for Des Moines of seeing quarter to $half size hail. I think the maximum hail size we're going to see in Iowa today is probably about golf ball size. I don't really think it's going to get any bigger than that. There's not a huge amount of instability or moisture to work with for those storms, so I'm thinking we're going to max out about golf ball size. And then Omaha has a pretty low end risk for up to $half size hail if we can see a storm go through that area. And then we'll take a look at the wind risk as well. Got those 4 spots in Oregon and rural New Mexico. Not really any cities in those areas, so we're not going to zoom in there, but we'll go down to the northeast. Low end chance for Jacksonville and Columbia, and we'll move up here. Also low end chance for Raleigh and Virginia Beach as we get up into the mid-Atlantic coastal region. And then we'll come over to the plains again, and again a moderate chance to see some gusty winds in Des Moines and a low-end chance to see some gusty winds in Omaha. Here's our city forecast for Des Moines, Iowa. The time is supposed to show up here, but that didn't happen, so I'll say it again. It's about 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Could see a max hail size of golf ball size, so moderate size for the hail. Moderate chance of seeing quarter size hail or larger, and a low-end chance of seeing any hail greater than golf ball size. We'll move on to the future radar for tomorrow. Generally, the risk area is going to be in central Nebraska and up here in the upper Midwest towards the Canadian border in northern Minnesota. We'll let this run through real quick as we see storms start to develop in the afternoon and evening hours. And up here in the upper Midwest, pretty low-end risk for tomorrow. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. I did include the fringes of northern Kansas in our risk area for tomorrow, because I do think that there could be a southern flank that kind of keeps building down towards the Kansas border and tracking eastward. Generally, these storms are going to die down after about 11 o'clock, midnight, so not a crazy risk for tomorrow, and it's also pretty rural. Unfortunately, we'd like to see some cities get hit, but it is what it is. So let's see what that looks like graphically. Pretty rural risk area for up to $half size hail for both of those areas. Grand Island's your biggest city at risk for Nebraska, and if we move to the north, International Falls, right on the border there, is probably your biggest city at risk for tomorrow in the upper Midwest. That's all I got for you today, so make sure you stay updated with us on social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at HailTrace for all of those. I believe we have a TikTok now as well. Should be at HailTrace for that. If you want to get in contact with us, call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com, or you can just go straight to our website and talk to us through the intercom chat feature at hailtrace.com. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Have a great day.